going on Jerome's Victory Monday press conference for Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. He's getting pretty good at these. He's had a lot of reps as of late. But there's some stuff and some things to chat about as the Vikings put the bang thing on the Texans. Looking ahead, starting the NFC North schedule at the Greasy Grimy Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field. Also, Kevin Harlan's going to be on the call again. All right, let's go. So takeaways from Kevin O'Connell's presser. Talk about the Texans game. Happy that this team started fast, capitalized on turnovers, and they kept momentum. Basically, this game, the Texans game was what the Niners game should have been, except the Vikings had a couple of errors. The bad interception and the Aaron Jones fumble, special teams, couple errors as well. So, I mean, the Texans game was a complete game by the Vikings. Got to respect it. The story of the day, Slinging Sam Darnold's knee is good to go. MRI revealed no structural damage. It is just a bruise, and he can't keep a good man down. That's right, baby. America's quarterback getting things done. Also, Connell talked about how it's been a joy to coach Sam Darnold. And we said this in previous leagues, like, I do think that O'Connell sees some of himself in Sam Darnold, where Darnold number 3 overall pick, O'Connell was a 3rd round pick. But I mean, every coach who used to play thinks just like, well, if I just had a better situation or some better coaching or given a chance, I could have succeeded. And Darnold is doing that after not succeeding with the Jets and with the Panthers. So now, I mean, O'Connell is just like, I could have been a contender. Could have got things done, man. Also, he is hopeful, other injuries, hopeful that Jordan Addison with his ankle, Ivan Pace Jr. with his quad and ankle, and Diamond Dallas Turner with his knee should be ready to roll against Green Bay. So Addison, been out since week 1 with that right high ankle sprain, had that left high ankle sprain from joint practices against the Browns. Speedy Nailers looked really damn good. But now, I mean, this receiving core gets even scarier with Jordan Addison back in the mix. Ivan Pace was downgraded, did not practice Friday after tweaking his ankle on Thursday. Hopefully is going to be ready to rock and roll against Green Bay, although Common Grugier-Hill certainly did more than okay in his place. And then Diamond Dallas Turner, with that knee injury against the Niners, said that he should be ready to go against Green Bay and would love to add him back into the pass rush platoon, which leading the league in sacks. Can't be wrong, man. More injuries. So Justin Jefferson reportedly jammed his thumb before halftime of the Texans game. Also, he had 2 drops in the second half, but O'Connell said that the thumb doesn't have anything to do with the drops. Also, everything checked out. So Jefferson should be good to go. 2 weeks in a row. Just a smidgen of an injury scare with Justin Jefferson. John Grenard, really respect, and he said that the sacks were going to come. So, I mean, Grenard was leading the team in pressures, was 6th in the league in pressures heading into week 3, and he only had 1 sack, but had the hat trick against the Texans, his former team. And like we said, I mean, sacks can be a little bit of puck luck. So 2 of the sacks Grenard definitely earned, but that last one, I mean, that was Harrison Phillips. Harrison Phillips pressured Stroud twice, and then Grenard just sort of fell on him. But Grenard gets full credit for the sack. It's kind of funny, man. But, Grenard, I mean, unheralded as a signing, but he's definitely worth the money, and he's a leader by example and a leader in everything that he does on this defense. In terms of, talked about rotation due to the one-sidedness of the game. Now, you could tell, like, O'Connell was worried that he was going to say something kind of snarky and smarmy, hoity-toity, just like, we got to rotate in players because of the score. Nah. Nothing like that. Also, talking about how he's been getting impactful feedback on his offense from Vikings defenders. Jonathan Grenard, as well as shout out to Bobby McCain coming on in, because, I mean, they'll run things in practice, talk about practice, and O'Connell will talk to the defenders like, hey, would this work if we do X? And then the defender will be like, well, it could, but if you did Y, that would be even better. And it's just that feedback back and forth, iron sharpens iron, because you see too many times, especially when one side of the football is sucking, that it becomes an us versus them mentality. Like there's a locker room schism between the offense and the defense. It's just like, hey, if your defense is doing great and your offense sucks, all of a sudden the defense is like, why are we doing all this lifting? But what's great is that this team intermingles, commingles, offense and defense, everyone. And you talk about the players. Like Dallas Turner getting feedback from Darrisaw, J.J. McCarthy getting feedback from defenders and Flores, and it goes back and forth. So, this is a team. This is not 2 sides of the ball. This is a team. Also, speaking of which, the culture and the vibe, also shout out to the best fans in the NFL, being loud and proud against the Texans. And O'Connell said this, which is really fantastic. Players who are smart, tough, and love football tend to do well here. Which is great. And he shouted out Aaron Jones, one leader, a human being as well. So, and he didn't really mention that, of course, it's Packers week. So Aaron Jones is going to have a little something extra coming off his first 100-yard game for the Vikings. But O'Connell's not a dummy. And you know how Grenard was put in great places to succeed against his old team. I think Jones, they're going to have something special for Aaron Jones. I think it's going to be a big game for 33 in Lambeau. Also, defensively, O'Connell's been spending a lot more time with the defense, which is great because you don't really see that because when your head coach is from one side of the ball, they tend to just stay on that one side. But I feel like Kevin O'Connell knows he's the head coach of the entire team. Now, this doesn't mean that he's stepping on Flores' toes or there's too many cooks in the kitchen situation, but he knows that he coaches that side of the ball as well. Same thing with teams. So he is the head coach of the entire team, not just a coordinator with the challenge flag. For Green Bay, talk about preparing for both Willis and Love. TBD which quarterback is going to start. Willis, obviously, the much more dangerous running threat, but did make a couple throws as well, so respect there. Jordan Love, I mean, even if he's playing, like that knee is not going to be 100%, so you do have to factor that in. Also shouted out Christian Darrisaw, who has played tough last couple weeks against elite edge rushers. Now, Darrisaw did give up a sack yesterday, as well as against the Niners too. But I mean, it really has been a who's who of edge rushers. You look at Tibbs and Burns week 1. You look at Bosa week 2. You look at Anderson and Daniil week 3. I mean, that was huge. And I mean, Daniil had 0 goose egg D'Angelo Russell sacks on Sunday, so that's a big time praise for Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. And also talked about how offensive motion puts a lot of stress on the defense. It can reveal what coverage they're going to play. It does mix up their assignments, especially when they can do it right up until the snap or right up until the play clock runs out. So it's really interesting because you've noticed that the Vikings, so they've always used pre-snap motion, but they're using it a lot more now this season, as well as a lot more intricate ways and a lot more non-traditional pre-snap motions. And it's like the touchdown for Naylor against the Niners when he motioned inside between the tight end and the tackle. It's like that's how we got that touchdown because they'd shown that motion when it comes to run blocking plays, but all of a sudden, whoop, my bad. Excuse me, let me just squeeze by you there. It's good, man. But either way, like we said, we definitely could get used to more pressers like this. Victory Mondays, racking up and stacking up good days. Packers next big-time test. It's going to be good to go, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Kevin O'Connell, Victory Monday presser. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comments, everyone's thoughts. You know what to do. Venmo, Skull, production value.